Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. We're back in sport mode. It's Nations Cup time once again, and this time I'll be trying every single race. We're going to do the first two races, or the first two rounds in this video. The Group 2 cars at Le Mans for the first one, and for the second race we'll be heading off to Watkins Glen in the Honda RA272 Formula 1 cars from the mid-1960s. So both of these races are going to be a lot of fun. This is actually my second attempt at the Le Mans race. The first one was so bad that I just deleted the recording immediately because it was just terrible. Everything went horribly wrong. But anyway, let's get on to our qualifying lap and see if we can put ourselves towards the front of the grid. Got the number 4 on the car this time, so high expectations upon us for this one. A little bit unfortunate that despite the fact I did terribly in my first attempt, even if I win this time, I'm actually going to lose points because my first run was against much more highly rated drivers. I think there was 3 or 4 C-rated drivers, whereas in this one everyone is D-rated. But regardless, hopefully we can still have a good run here, and that will just give us all the more opportunity to have a good race result. I'm really not too concerned about points at all. But anyway, we come through the second chain. This lap is actually coming together really nicely so far. I'm very happy with the first half of this lap as we head into the right-hander at the end of the back straight, Mulsanne corner, and getting through there very nicely. I put a big emphasis throughout the first race, as it was going terribly, on trying to learn exactly how to take the chicanes and how to get through both Tetra Rouge and Mulsanne corner as well as possible, because they all lead on to very long straight sections, as well as Arnage, and yeah, if we can get those corners right, they are really the keys to the lap. I was pretty good actually through the Porsche curves, so I'm not terribly concerned about that zone of the circuit. But so far, really happy with this lap, and Arnage, probably one of the toughest corners on the circuit. Probably could have carried a little bit more speed, but we survived, and that's the main thing through that corner. We didn't lose too much, which is yeah, always the greatest concern at the tough corners. But anyway, towards the Porsche curves now, things can go wrong here as we understeer slightly on entry. We get to something that vaguely resembles an apex a little bit later on. Weren't really there though, but here is where I can actually gain a lot of time. I was really quick through this sequence of corners. Again, bit of understeer in the early phase, but got back to some kind of apex. And then this left-hander can be tricky if you get a bit wrong-footed on the entry, but we're all fine on that occasion. We're able to steer it through there nicely. And now these final 2 chicanes can carry a lot of speed through these. I probably could have carried a bit more into the first one. Second one we'll take it a bit cautiously because there's a big bump on the inside with the curbing there, and we set a fairly nice lap time at 3 minutes 46.7. That's the best I've done so far. We'll just have to see what everyone else does, and as everyone else puts their times in, no one is able to topple that time. So with a one-shot qualifying essentially here, we've been able to put the best lap in, and that is my very first pole position in sport mode in Gran Turismo 7. Goodness me, that I'll admit that came out of nowhere. I thought I would have a bit more of a chance in this one than the previous failed attempt at this race that I did, but I certainly didn't expect a pole position. So big opportunity here. I'm a little bit nervous heading into this one, but you can see the Toyota GT1 out of all the Group 2 cars, very much the most popular choice here. It's actually from a future update I'm yet to feature. That'll be in a couple of videos time, hopefully, as we are slowly catching up in the numbered series. But yeah, the Toyota GT1, a very recent addition to the game. and a very, very nice car to drive. I really enjoy this this car, so yeah, I'm hoping for good things. I don't know if the win is possible. I don't know what everyone else's laps were like, if they've got more pace or not, but all we can do is do our best and try to minimize mistakes, and if we can do that, hopefully we can come home with at least a podium. Well, there we have it. World Series 2024 online qualifier final. Nations Cup round 1 at the 24 Heures du Mans racing circuit. I don't French. Anyway, here we go. Let's take a look at the starting grid for this one. A pretty long race lined up, 10 laps of the Le Mans circuit. We're going to be starting off pole position for the very first time in sport mode, P2. For GL220261. Shady starts in third position ahead of Curly Mo, all drivers we've raced against before. Then it's Jack Tar, another familiar name from the recent past, and then Papstar starts in P6. Then it's Shu Pu in P7 ahead of Van Diemen in 8th position. H starts in P9, and then Paddle Boy rounds out the top 10. Shard starts in P11, and that actually rounds off the grid. Quite a small field here in this race, but it's going to be nice and competitive nonetheless as we get rolling for the start here. And like I said, very nervous starting on pole position, and let's just hope we can have a clean run through the first couple of corners. A lot of pressure on as we get ready to go racing here, and yeah, it's always a long build up to these sport mode races. Plenty of time for that pressure to build up, but we're underway now as we build up the speed. The jets fly over, and we'll try to make a bit of a gap early in this one as we head into turn 1 for the first time. Keeping it nice and tight on the inside there, a bit deep though into turn 1, and immediately we lose the race lead, and we've dropped down into second position. In fact, we're struggling a little bit to even hold on to this. There was actually a car inside of us there as we're a little bit wayward through there as well, so not a great start, not the smoothest of starts, and we've managed to sort of collect ourselves. Missed the apex of Tetra Rouge there slightly, but we've managed to actually get a pretty decent exit. We carried the speed through there well enough, and we're not going to be under too much threat as we head along the Mulsanne Straight for the first time, and just trying to track the car in front, braking slipstream from the car behind, etc. along the straight. The games begin there, but here's the onboard with Shady, and it all got very feisty through the first few corners as Curly Mo was trying to get through there. Shady inside of me as we head through the first sector. A bit of awkward contact as we sort of phased in and out of existence, and then Shady just trying to stick the nose in there, but there was no room to be able to do that. And yeah, we were able to carry the speed pretty well through Tetra Rouge, and that finally ended that little battle. But yeah, a pretty average start, but through the chicanes along the back straight, we've actually been able to maybe close that gap to the race leader slightly. I've been saying GL, it might actually be GI. It's very hard to tell the difference between a lowercase l and a capital I in certain fonts. But anyway, let's focus on the racing action as we've got a really nice run through Mulsanne corner, and now along the next straight we've got a nice bit of slipstream here, and we might be able to make the move for the race lead here, as we're just peaking out a bit more slipstream. Now we make the move to the outside as we're going to run side by side. We've got the outside for these couple of slight right-handers, but we've got the overspeed nonetheless. Bit of side-to-side contact there, as I'm not quite sure they knew I was there, but they know now as we make the move all the way around the outside into Indianapolis. And oh, they're off the road, cranking it sideways on the exit in the sand. Oh, goodness me, someone off at far higher velocity there. And that was a big off for a couple of cars there. And that's Shady once again, getting involved in a little bit of drama in this one. Back up the inside, trying to make some more progress to recover from that, but overcooks it slightly. Let's see a replay of what happened to Shady. Oh my goodness, got a huge hit from behind. That's unfortunate, and dropped a ton of places there, so that's very frustrating for Shady. And yeah, that's a solid contender in this race, losing a lot of time. So yeah, the lead non-Toyota driver dropping back in this one, on board with Pato Boy, and that is a massive hit. Goes off the road in sympathy as well. That was a huge misjudgment there, and yeah, no wonder. Can you know, sense the frustration from Shady there, trying to send it up the inside of Van Diemen, but not quite able to get that move done. But yeah, huge frustration as we go on board with Curly Mo. You can see 220261 up the road, and having a bit of a moment there, and actually gets a penalty for that. That's pretty harsh, but track limits I suppose, and they're going to reinforce them very strongly here it seems. But yeah, that's very unfortunate for one of our main rivals here. But anyway, as we head through the final couple of chicanes and lead the way at the end of the first lap, that is lap 1 of 10 completed in the race lead, just 9 to go, and we've got a bit of a buffer now to the group behind. Not to mention that they have a penalty in the case of 220261, and they go deep, as does Curling Mo as well, so going off in sympathy there. And yeah, that's going to cost them both a little bit of time. No further penalties though by the look of things, but yeah, awkward moment for the pair of them. And whoa, Jack Tar with a 4-second penalty. Goodness me, where on earth did he get that from? That is a pretty harsh penalty, and it actually goes back to this incident and whack straight into the back of Pato Boy, which is what sent Pato Boy off along with Shady. The incident was already playing out at that point, but yeah, several drivers misjudging their braking points, and that's where the 4-second penalty came from for Jack Tar. So yeah, that's a pretty brutal penalty. But yeah, several drivers missing the braking point there into that corner at Indianapolis. But anyway, as we continue on, we're going along the right so far. We're just extending the gap to the cars behind at the moment, and eventually we'll actually just move straight onto the pit stop window, taking it a bit cautiously, but we have the margin behind to be able to do this cautiously. The last thing we want to do is you know, get any kind of track limits violation heading into pit lane, because that's an immediate 3-second penalty, and that's just going to not be a great time for us and put everyone right on the back of us once again. I really wanted to make an emphasis on not making mistakes, because when you make one mistake, plenty more tend to follow. So my main goal in this race was to absolutely minimize mistakes as much as possible, and so far we've done a pretty decent job at that. And yeah, it's now, you know, getting into the second half of the race. A few drivers choosing to go the extra lap. Shard, who started down at the back of the grid, along with 220261, staying on the original tyre set for one extra lap, but they'll both eventually come in to the pit lane. And here's just a nice technicality. Technically, we led both of those laps. We just get the race lead back before crossing the line to start the next lap. So Yeah, technically we have still led every lap in this race, even through the pit stop phases, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, as we are now just a few laps out from the end, we just need to keep pushing, make sure no mistakes come, and yeah, just try and extend this margin if we can. But yeah, what else can we really do? We can probably try to improve on the fastest lap. That's probably the most beneficial thing we can do at the moment. But yeah, as things stand, we've pretty much got the race win in the bag as we go into hyperdrive along the back straight. And we'll slow things down again as we head into the corner, the first of the chicanes. Getting through there rather nicely. This is actually the fastest lap I was able to achieve throughout the race. And yeah, I guess with the lighter fuel load in this stint and the fresh tyres going on, it was you know, the best time to extract the pace out of the car. So yeah, this lap came together really nicely as we are going to continue to zoom along the back straight and head up towards Mulsanne corner. And yeah, we are improving massively on our previous lap. A little bit deep there, but we're still able to get it stopped and turned well enough. And we are looking to improve by quite a chunk over our previous best lap. So yeah, there's plenty of time still to find as we continue on at this lap now into the Indianapolis corner, where a few drivers come across on lap 1. We get through there very nicely, and now we are 1.4 seconds purple on our previous lap. That is a huge improvement we are making, and we're going to zoom along once again. There's so many long straights around this circuit, gives plenty of time to wind yourself up for the next corner. Now the Porsche curves, a lot of time to be found here if you can get the lines right. We weren't perfect through the first right-hander, but through the next sequence, this is all looking pretty neat and tidy, getting it nice and tucked in on the inside line there. Being able to open up this left hand is pretty important as well. Didn't quite get to the apex there, but got through there well enough. And now just the final couple of chicanes to go. And yeah, this is going to be a huge improvement. Carrying great speed through these chicanes, cutting that first left-hander of the second chicane nicely there, and across the line we're into the 44s. Goodness me, that is, look at the other laps we've done. That is a huge improvement. I honestly didn't know I had that lap time in me, and I don't know if I'll be able to replicate that ever again, but there it is. And yeah, that is definitely going to secure the fastest lap of the race for us as we continue on all the way now to the end of the race. And that was really all there was to it. We were able to extend that margin all the way to 20 seconds in the end. We'll cross the line, and that is a legitimate race win now in sport mode. No Stephen Bradbury this time. We did that one on pace, and that feels good. I mean, the Bathurst one was awesome the way that happened, but to do it on pace so convincingly, I'm still in disbelief. I was in disbelief at the time when I saw the margin to the next car. And yeah, that is a crazy, crazy race. The win, the pole position, the fastest lap, leading every lap. That is as good as it gets. And I still can't believe it. I don't think I've ever driven like that in my whole life. To be that consistent is not something I've been able to do in the past. So yeah, that made me very happy to be able to put that race together, especially after the absolute horror show that was my first attempt at this race, which we're not going to talk about. But yeah, wow. Everyone was tagging me in the chat saying they're well done and congratulations, which is also not something I'm used to, especially from 220261 there, who we had that battle with at the start of the race. So yeah, that was really nice to see. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Actually, before that, I just wanted to throw this in because it's relevant to sport mode. We get these time trial events every week where we get a certain car and track and have to, of course, just put in the best lap time we can. And we get a medal based on how close we are, percentage-wise, of the lap time to the fastest time anyone set. And despite the fact we were outside of the top 100,000 times people have set, we actually were able to get the gold because the car was the Chaparral 2X, a relatively easy car to drive around an absolutely flat-out circuit at the Daytona Tri-Oval. So to be honest, there's not really any way the lap time can go wrong. The only technique was just to really hug the inside line to minimize the lap distance, and that was about it. And just doing that was enough for me to get the gold. So that's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm now 2 million credits richer after getting that. Anyway, on to round 2 of the Nations Cup. And we're at Watkins Glen now. We've got the Honda RA272 Formula 1 cars from 1965. And I've actually done livery for this one, very basic, but livery nonetheless. And yeah, we'll see that throughout the course of the race when we see the car from off board. But for now, we need to focus on trying to get a decent qualifying position. Just waiting for a little bit of the rush to exit the pit lane before I go out myself. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Did a few practice races with the Trans Am lot on the lead up to this, so I do vaguely know what I'm getting myself into. But in the immediate half an hour before this race, I didn't really do anything in the way of practice, and yeah, that was probably why I did struggle a little bit in the first out lap and first lap in qualifying. So hopefully we can maybe put a better lap in this time as we head through the S section. Quite a long session, really, 10 minutes, which is probably going to be longer than the race itself. A 5-lap race with lap times under 2 minutes. I mean, that is yeah, pretty much by the time everyone finishes their last laps in qualifying, it will be longer than the race, which is kind of crazy to think about. But anyway, Camo Bemo has had a bit of a moment at the bus stop that sent us wide, as we were just a bit distracted and avoiding action from that. They were probably going to remain ghosted, but I didn't want to risk it. Now we're all out of a rhythm through the next left-hander. Yeah, this lap is falling apart a little bit, but hopefully we'll still be able to improve on our initial time, because I'm not terribly happy with the first lap in qualifying. So now as we head through the little extension on the longer version of the circuit, we'll see if we can finish the lap off strong as we head into the right-hand U-turn here. Trying to carry some nice speed through there. Probably could have carried a little bit more, but not too bad, as we just need to try and finish this lap off safely. Didn't quite get to the apex there. It's actually a very hard apex to hit, because if you go over it and go too far to the left, that curve is very steep. This corner very easy to get track limits on the outside, so we steered well clear of that and a little bit wayward into the final corner as well. So far from a perfect lap. And yeah, these cars, they feel very nice to drive, but a little bit more tricky to nail the lines. But in the end, we're able to break into the 58s, which I'm okay with. Would have been nice to go a bit better than that. I know I definitely have more pace than what I was able to show in that session. So yeah. I think realistically I should have the pace to contend for maybe a top, definitely a top 7. Should be faster than that group of cars ahead. There's a big void though to the next car, so I don't know. It'll be close, but if I can just have a good consistent race, just like back at Le Mans, Just keep it clean, make no mistakes, hopefully capitalize on a few mistakes of others, and you know, maybe we'll be able to pull ourselves forwards. But yeah, this is not going to be as easy as it was back at Le Mans in the Toyota GT1, which was absolutely on rails. This car, it does handle very nicely. It is, I mean, it is also on rails, but it's just not. I don't quite click with it in the same way as I did with the Toyota at Le Mans. I don't know if it's the car or the circuit. Probably Le Mans is one of the circuits I do tend to click with the most, so I think that definitely factored into it. Watkins Glen is an alright circuit for me, but yeah, it's not one of those circuits where I feel like I can be absolutely on it. It's when I really do have to concentrate, and you know, even to have a car to follow sometimes to feel like I'm getting it right. But anyway, it's fairly disappointing qualifying here, but that'll give us plenty to do in the race. A lot of points available for this one, so if we can get a decent result here, that's going to be huge for our points total. We can't. It's actually physically impossible for us to score less points than in the Toyotas, which is kind of crazy. But we even have a C-rated driver in this race, which just shows the increase in the competition we have here. Interestingly enough, 220261 is also here, out qualifying me convincingly in this one. So just goes to show how different cars suit different people. Alrighty then, here we go again. World Series 2024 Online Qualifiers Final, Nations Cup Round 2 at Watkins Glen Long Course. So, let's see how this one pans out in the little Honda Formula 1 cars from 1965. This is going to be a fun race. Starting on pole position, it's going to be Camo Bamo. In second position we have old friend 220261, and then it is Nuskel starting in P3. Starting out of P4 it is a Full Grumpy, and then out of 5th position Bear Hatch. Starting in 6th position it's Gumboot, and in P7 we have this guy 84. Out of 8th position on the grid it is Tiz, also 84, and then out of 9th position Speedio1, another familiar name from some of our past races. We start out of P10, and it is Wonky Veronica. Out of P11, starts in 12th position with Free the Merkin off the back of the grid. So we are 4th last on the grid. A vast contrast, that's not the right word, a stark contrast to the lofty heights of pole position last time. But I was actually considering starting from the back anyway. The only reason I qualified is because I saw that this was going to be a very competitive field, so I wanted to give myself the best opportunity possible to bring home a decent result here. So in the end I chose to qualify, as you have already seen. But anyway, we're underway for racing here, and straight away we duck into the slipstream of the car in front, and we've actually got a decent launch here as we work our way down towards turn 1. Later on the brakes down the inside, and we'll immediately make that position up and into P9 as it's going to get a bit scrappy up ahead for them, and they're going to get us sorted into single file by the time we get through the S section here. Oh, out of control, straight into the barrier there. That was a big crash for, I think that was this guy. And now as we head along the back straight and we might be able to make a move here. We're thinking about it, trying to get through, and we'll gain a position there and move ourselves up into 8th position, so a couple of spots gained, as I think there are a few losing control behind as we're making that move. And yeah, we're following Wonky Veronica. I assume that's probably how it's meant to be pronounced, like the W is pronounced a bit like a V, like names like Vert and things like that, but Veronica sounds funny, so I'm going to stick with that. Anyway, we are just being a slight annoyance at the moment, but not really in contention to try and make an overtake as we come up to the penalty line. Is there anyone going to be suffering this time around? Not in our immediate vicinity, so not going to gain any places here, but penalties are very easy to pick up around this circuit, both at the bus stop, the penultimate corner, the first corner, and a handful of other spots as well. So yeah, it's something we're all going to have to be careful of throughout the duration of this race as we get it cranked sideways as we rejoin the NASCAR layout of the circuit, and now as we start to work our way through the final couple of corners. It's been a very good first lap, and we're up into 7th position, so really happy with the progress on the first lap, up 3 places, so hopefully that form can continue. As we head through the bus stop on the second lap of the race, unfortunately we just got a little bit too aggressive over the curbs there, and that has triggered a penalty unfortunately for us. So yeah, that's going to make things a little bit more difficult as we head around the next couple of corners towards the penalty line. It's going to probably drop us back. It's a 1-second penalty, same with the car in front actually, so 2 of us coming a cropper throughout this lap, and we're both probably going to lose places here. Tried to set up a good exit there, made a bit of a meal of that though, and now yeah, we're going to lose 2 places here, so that's a shame. Hopefully we can get those back, but the pace seems pretty even with those around us, so we might have our work cut out for us if we want to move any further forwards in this race. But we're in 8th position at the moment, still up 2 from where we started, so still not having a terrible time, but we have a lot of work to do as we set our sights on the trio of cars ahead, who are all going to start fighting away amongst themselves, as there was a bit of a wide moment there from the 5th place runner. Now under pressure from Tiz as they head towards T1. Is there going to be an overtake here? They're very close as they run nose to tail. Oh, that's getting a little bit close for comfort, but in the end it's going to be 3 into turn 2, and Bear Hatch taking the advantage there and moving up into 6th position as we are desperately trying to keep up with this trio of cars, but I think they just have marginally better pace than I do at the moment. But Bear Hatch now trying to make the move down the inside, tries to defend, and will be able to hold on to that one. Bear Hatch taking a lot of the curb and a bit wide, scrambled there, and is going to be able to take the advantage. A penalty for Tsk, so that is a disaster, and that could definitely reshuffle this pack as they start to head around. Oh, bit of contact from Tiz on the back of Bear Hatch there, and all this little bit of squabbling is just about helping us keep up with this trio of cars. All wobbly there after that from Bear Hatch, as now trying to make the move, and will get through, especially with the penalty coming for Tsk. That's definitely going to make things much more difficult, and they drop into P7. We might even have a run at them ourselves as we finally go back on board. We'll make the move down the inside, and we'll actually get through, I think. Oh, we've paused the game and just got a bit too excited there, fumble on the buttons, and yeah, that was a bit silly, and we've lost momentum as we did that. So yeah, that was a weird one. But anyway, they're fighting away once again, trying to look down the inside of Bear Hatch. No way through though, and we're still on the back of this group as we get a little bit sideways into the final corner. But no harm done, we carry on. We're not under too much pressure from behind, so let's continue to watch this battle unfold up the road. It's running in seventh position at the moment, and Bear Hatch P6 trying to catch up and put the move on Tiz, who was kind of skipped to the front of this group fairly silently there, but Tiz holding on at the moment. Bear Hatch ready to make the move into the chicane. Maybe gonna have a look to the inside, not gonna happen, but they're close, and it's only a matter of time before they start fighting away again. All four of us quite close together on track, but still we're at the back of this group at the moment once again. So yeah, we just can't quite seem to break into this group and make our way forwards, despite the fact they're fighting away. So it's tantalizing. We are so close. We can see 5th place up the road, and that would be a huge result in this race, as down the inside goes Bear Hatch and gets through. A little bit of contact, but gets the move done nicely, as they are gonna try and keep this fight going. And Bear Hatch holds on and is now up into P5. I feel like Bear Hatch might have the best pace of the group. Maybe it's because it's a bit faster. It's really hard to tell because it keeps changing. You know, whoever's in the lead seems to keep having a bit of trouble. I thought they were about to go 3 wide there as we go back on board, and we're a bit deep. Not as deep as Bear Hatch though. And now we've got the run around the outside of Bear Hatch, and we're up into 7th position rather. And now we're going to be able to have the run around the outside. We're thinking about it, and we're going to go for it. Bit of side-to-side contact, and once and twice there, all out of shape into the final corner, but we managed to keep it pointing in a straight line, and we've managed to make that move up into P6 now. 2 overtakes in 2 corners there. We had to work for that, but regardless, we've got it done up into 6th position. We look to Speedy getting involved in the fight now, so there's even more cars involved, but we've broken away from that group now, and Speedy trying to get to the head of that queue, and you know, try and you know, get clear of these two who are still fighting really hard. And Speedy does get clear, so very good. And we now have another contender behind us, who from the name you can tell they are Speedy. But anyway, had a bit of a moment, and that's a penalty, and that could give us an opportunity if we can stay close enough to Tusk as we head around the left-hander, and the penalty line's coming up quite soon. We only have to stay close for 1 more corner. I still don't think we quite have the pace, but with that penalty, this is, by the way, the final lap of the race, so this is absolutely on for us, as we are close, and we will be able to make the move here, as they're going to have to serve that penalty, and we'll get a bit of slipstream. Now we'll make the move down the inside. We couldn't quite get this done earlier, but we've got it done before the corner this time, and we'll take 5th position. But it is not over yet. We've seen that you know, they've been a little bit aggressive, a little look down the inside, but they can't get the move done. We're a little bit wide though because of that, and just being cautious, trying to give them that little bit of space on the inside. It's given us a bad run. It's as another look down the inside, we cover just very slightly, just enough to discourage the overtake. And now towards the final corner, they're right under the back of the car as we had turned right into the final corner. A bit of a hit from behind, but no harm done. We're a bit defensive there, but it's the final corner, so it doesn't matter. We got the run to the line, and that is P5 in the race. Goodness me, that was a very satisfying P5, I have to say. We really fought for that. A little bit lucky with the penalties, but that's ultimately all part of it. We were able to keep it clean when it mattered, and I really don't think we could have we couldn't have got any more out of this race, pace-wise. You know, we did have that one penalty, but I don't think that ultimately affected the results. I think the top 4 was out of the question, so yeah, that was really the maximum result I think we could have ever hoped for in this race, and a really fun one. But that is going to do it for this one, so I'll say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. It's always very helpful. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.